Hello fellow pioneers, and welcome to my video on 100% primed power start. What do I mean by 100% primed power start? Well, this primarily applies to fuel generators. As you can see, the generators in front of me are starting and stopping, and you actually see this very yucky jagged power line that goes up and down when you first start feeding fuel into generators. The reason for this is as soon as a generator receives enough units to burn, it will start burning, even if it doesn't have a buffer of enough units to continue burning after the current units burn. Eventually this will all flatten out over time, but that can take a long time, and also it can produce an annoying noise of generators starting and stopping. As you can hear in the background, I've re-enabled the factory sounds. You can hear the generators starting and stopping and starting and stopping. It's very frustrating when you're in a factory and you're wanting it to work the way you want. So how do we resolve this? Great question. It has to do with a specific set of steps you follow before you start feeding fuel to your generators. Now, this will apply to coal generators, fuel generators, and nuclear reactors. At this point, I'm going to show you fuel generators. I will show you coal generators as well later. The technique I'm going to use here is taking advantage of a tripped power circuit. And with a tripped power circuit, when you add generators to a tripped power circuit that currently are not powered on, when those generators receive fuel, they will not start up because the circuit is in a tripped state. What this allows you to do is to have a tripped power circuit and to build out your whole generator network as you go, and continually hook up these generators to this tripped power circuit and know that they won't power on, but they will receive a buffer of fuel, allowing you to fully prime your network. So then when you reset the tripped circuit condition, all the generators will turn on instantly, fully primed, giving you the full power you need straight away. How do I create a tripped power circuit? That's really easy. All you need to do is place a biomass burner down, configure the biomass burner at the lowest clock speed, put some leaves in there. I'm going to put a power pole there off the biomass burner, and then I'm going to create a constructor here. This constructor will make screws. I'm just going to put some iron rods in there. Bang. And the fuse is now tripped. So now we have a tripped power circuit. So with this tripped power circuit, I have all of these pre-configured generators ready to go. If I connect these up here, oh, it's still on a tripped power circuit. These generators currently are not receiving any fuel because the production line for this is not turned on. I'm going to power on the circuit that generates the fuel for this set of power generators, and we'll observe how they fill up, but they don't turn on. Okay, so I've turned on this diluted fuel process, and you can see in front of us that there is fuel flowing out of the 3 unpackages in front of me. The key to this technique, and as you can see above, we are receiving fuel from these 3 packages. They're unpackaging fuel and sending it to this row of generators along here. And if I have a look at this row of generators, we can see that they're all hooked up and if I look at the power circuit here, it's still in a tripped state. None of the generators are turning on. They all say no power, but you can see them buffering with fuel. The key concept to the tripped power circuit is you cannot hook up any generator to the power circuit that currently has been powered on. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's look at this one down here. This generator here is buffering fuel, but it's never been powered on before. If I hook this to the grid like so, the network remains in a tripped power state. If a generator was connected to a power pole, and just a power pole, nothing else, and it receives fuel, it will turn on. That's how generators work. As long as they've got a connection to a power network that's valid, this is a valid power network, a single pole is a valid power network, it will just start burning fuel straight away. However, if a generator is not connected to a power pole and it has fuel in its inventory and you connect it to a tripped power network, it will not turn on that tripped power network. And as you can see, these generators are buffering over time. So how do you know when it's the safe time to actually go, all right, let's resolve the tripped power circuit condition, I'm happy? Well, really, you want to wait until the pipe's fully saturated and even your machines, like the unpackages, have a full buffer of fuel before you reset that tripped power condition. Because at that point, everything will be fully primed, ready to go. And we'll come back to here in a minute. Here we are. We have our fully primed setup that I was talking about. If we look here at the generator itself has 50 fuel inside of it in its internal buffer here. All the pipes are maxed out, and you can see the unpackager machines are starting to buffer up. So at this point, this is where you can reset the trip power condition, and the whole network of generators will turn on in one go, and there will be no jaggedy power line. So quite simply, it's not just a simple matter of removing the connection from this trip power network, because now this still has a remained trip power condition. However, as soon as I pull that lever, bang, straight up, all the power in the world, no jagged line. Okay, we're over here at a setup I made to demonstrate the 100% primed power start with coal generators. This is your typical 8 generators, 3 water extractors, and the same on this side here. There's a Mark III belt that runs down the middle here that feeds coal. I have a storage container full of coal here. That's my pretend miner. Just like you would be around tier 3, 4, where you would have like a 270 belt of coal coming in, and you'd split it over 16 coal generators. So this is a manifold that needs to buffer out first. I have the water extractors are hooked up to a separate power network. They're like you would maybe with biomass burners or whatever you would do. And I have the output power of the coal generators is hooked up to our tripped power network that we have here. So all we need to do is provide the coal and the water, and these generators will start turning on. Well, they'll start receiving their water and coal resources, but they won't turn on because they are connected to a tripped power network, and this will allow us to have a fully buffered network occur. Okay, here we are, folks. we have finished. I can see the last generator along the lines has got 100. And the other way that you know that they have fully saturated is that there's no more coal feeding in and the water extractors are shut down. So all I have to do is remove the tripped power condition. And there we have 1200 megawatts of coal power at the click of a button. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more, check out the Satisfactory Guru website. Thank you.